Hello, my dear Wibbeteers. I'm Chris Biffle, also known as Coach B. We're broadcasting live to you November 4th, 2013. Amazing show tonight. If you're just signing on, sign on. Who are you? Where are you from? Pay attention to the names in red. Those are our online gurus. Big shout out to Mrs. Shipley, the queen of first grade. She has been trying for such a long time to get more Facebook likes than the kindergarten page, and today she did it. 10-finger woo to Ms. Shipley, and now she's going to have the kindergartners nipping on her tail. Ho, 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 I don't envy her. Let's get the show rolling. I'll go to my screen, set it up for you. Just like this. And this is week 9 of our master class. We're working on the practice cards tonight, my friends, and you are going to love it. Part of the program tonight is a zingy bonus. We're going to teach you a secret practice card strategy. That's our zingy bonus for tonight. The brain fact that we're going to get to is about pleasure, pain, and your amygdala. Could it be more exciting than that? And our mystery lesson coming up, a story about Coach B on Hippie Hill in the Haight-Ashbury. Yes, it's all coming to you tonight. First, a word from our sponsor, Biffy Bluebird. Biffy says, hey, go buy the book, my friends. One book, Megawatts of Funtricity. My friends, go to Amazon.com and write us a glowing review of this book. Convince other people that you know a thing or two about teaching. WholeBrainTeaching.com, 108,000 members, 4 million views on YouTube, 10 million pages downloaded, one of the world's most popular education websites. And we are blowing up Facebook. We have 50,000 likes now. At the rate 500 a day is probably an underestimate. We had 1,200 likes the day before yesterday in one day. That means in a couple of years, I will be elected President of the United States. I look forward to that because I'm going to give all of my teaching friends, what am I going to give them? I'm going to give them 3 weeks for Christmas. How do you like that? Yeah, it's huge and it's getting huger. Biffy Bluebird says, what if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs professional development credit? And Smarty Wonderbeak says, easy breezy, lemon squeezy, details are at the end of this program. This is program 569. Look at the scoreboard levels. It's like a living video game. We talked about the scoreboard for group behavior in webcast 562. The next level is the super improver team, webcast 563, and tonight we're going to add practice cards, webcast 565. Lots of levels. It's a video game that kids play for real. Webcast 564, that was our review. Here we go, practice cards. First of all, tell me how much you love the jazzy graphics, my friend. These graphics do not just fall off a tree. They are little digital masterpieces created with very, very sharp crayons. What is a practice card? Tell me this, though, my friends, before we get started. Anybody using practice cards yet? I'm taking a drink My online friends, are you using practice cards? Not yet. Okay. That's good. I hate to say it, my friends, but that was a trick question. Because I don't want you to use the practice cards yet. You need a big back pocket. Practice cards are for after Christmas. Nancy will tell you that if you can get through Christmas with the scoreboard and the Super Improver team, it's all downhill after that, my friends. Downhill meaning it'll be good. All right, here we go. So this is for your back pocket. What are practice cards? Well, you use the scoreboard and the Super Improver team, that's abbreviated SIT, for many months. If possible, wait until after Christmas to put up a card pocket chart with every student's name. Now, if your district won't let you put up student names, you put up numbers. Put that card pocket chart up on the wall. Brand new, they've never seen it before. Oh, they are so intrigued. Let them be intrigued for a while. Here's the next step. You've been rehearsing your rules. Let me ask you that right now. My friends, are you rehearsing your rules 5 times a day? Tell me that. You rehearse the rules in order to implement the rules. Oh, I see a lot of yeses. All right. Are you having some of your rambunctious kids lead the rules rehearsal? Is that a good idea? All right. So, here's the deal, very simple. You have some white practice cards. The practice cards have written on them Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3, Rule 4, Rule 5. Very simple. When a rule is broken, put the appropriate white card in a student's card pocket. Is everybody digging the simplicity of that already? What do my online friends say? You see the simplicity of that? So you don't have to remember who did what. And here's the deal. I'm taking off my glasses. It's after Christmas, my friends. No more threatening. No more scolding. You just take the white practice card and you put it in the kid's card pocket and keep on teaching. You don't even hesitate. You don't pause. Just boom. And da-da-da-da-da-da. You rehearse the rules probably over 200 times. Stop the scolding. Give them a practice card. This is not the color card system. The color card system, you change the kid's color and it doesn't work because every day it's the same story and you have a hard time remembering who did what. You'll see how wonderful practice cards are, my friends. Now, what is the white card penalty? The student spends 2 minutes at recess and lunch silently rehearsing the rule gesture. Let's just stop right there. The kid, let's say they got a white card for rule 2. They do this. Try doing that for 2 minutes. Your arm will get tired. If it does, use the other arm. Silently rehearse. You say, I'm not mad at you. You just need more practice. That's why we call these practice cards. Folks out there who've used the practice cards, tell your colleagues how it's been working for you. All right, back to the screen. You don't do the gestures with them, my friend. You've got other things to do. Teresa, you don't do the gestures. They sit there and do the gestures themselves. Now, if a kid refuses to do the gestures, we've got stuff in our back pocket for that kid. We got stuff in our back pocket for every kind of kid in the world. All right, look at me. Here we go. A note goes home informing the parents about the rule that needs attention. I'll show you the note in a second. The white card stays in the student's pocket one day unless the note comes back signed from home. So there's carryover, my friend. You need the note signed from home or the kid's card stays in the pocket. Now, here are the principles. No student ever receives more than 2 white cards per day. 4 minutes of practice. It isn't how many white cards they get, it's the consistency of the white cards, and 2 is plenty. As the year progresses, the time may be increased in 1-minute increments. If the student refuses to practice, you say 2 minutes my way or 4 minutes your way. Don't you love that comeback? Kid says, I'm not going to do the gestures. You say, all right, my friends, I respect that. So you sit there 4 minutes and you do it your way. Or you could do the gestures, 2 minutes, do it my way. It's your decision. How well do you like recess? You decide, my little friend. All right, here's the note home. Don't you love it that we've written the note out for you? Here's your note. Your child needs more practice, and there are the 5 rules. And then you say, help, I need practice. Today at school I broke the checked rule. All you got to do is just check the rule. I need you to help me practice at home. Say to the family, please have your child practice the rule gesture at home as long as you feel necessary. Your child will show you the gesture. We've practiced many times at school, but we need your help. Please sign and return this paper by tomorrow. If you have any questions, give me a call or email me. And then the parent puts down how many minutes they practiced at home. Simple, powerful, fun for you. Next screen. What about the kid who has no hope of getting the note signed? I told you we got something for every kid in America. Anybody out there who has kids, and how many do you have, who knows those kids will never get a note signed back from home? Not so much because of the kids, but because of home. Who's got kids like that? Yeah. How many? 20%, says Teresa. I can't get 20% of my kids to bring a note back from home. All right. Here's what you do. Check this out. The student at the teacher's discretion is assigned an on-campus parent, usually another teacher. The note is taken home and given to the on-campus parent. Every child is assured of having at least one responsible adult in their life. Don't you love that? Isn't it important for your kids to have at least one responsible adult in their life? So you know the kid You know their family, and you've got your colleague across the hall, and you've got 10 kids, and that colleague is the on-campus parent for 10 of your kids, and you do the same for her. That is powerful. And the thing is that when you're the on-campus parent, you have a chance to develop a beautiful relationship with that kid because you don't have to have him in class every day. It may be the best teaching you do of your life to help Mrs. Johnson's troubled child who brings you their practice card note. And if your team won't go for it, you find another adult on campus. There are ladies in the lunchroom who would love to be an on-campus parent. There are secretaries in the office who would love to be an on-campus parent. There are custodians who would love to be an on-campus parent. Let's use all the good people at our school. Is that too wacky? Tell me. I'm drinking to that. Now, some time goes by. Weeks pass, and then it's time for, understand this, weeks have passed, purple cards. I'd like some guesses as to what purple cards are for. If you know, don't say. If you're guessing, give me your best guess. What do you think a purple card is for? Tell me. Purple is for royalty. That's right, teacher. Good behavior. Super rule follower. Unicorns. That's interesting, Teeter. They corrected a problem. Good behavior. You know, I think a lot of us are on the same wavelength. Here's the purple card deal. Purple cards are placed in a student's pocket as a reward for following a rule. So you got the white cards and you got the purple praise cards. Oh, Sophia is following Rule 1. And Biff, that little Dickens, he's following Rule 2. Purple card for Sophia and Biff. What are the purple card principles? Purple cards are only added after weeks of white cards. A purple card cancels a white card. Pay attention to that. A purple card cancels a white card. They got a white card. They got another white card. They can only get 2. But suddenly, they're motivated to start raising their hand for permission to speak. Give them a purple card. Take out one of the white cards. No way is a kid ever going to get a purple card and a white card take-home note at the end of the day. That kind of sends a confusing message. So you're going to end up either with a purple note or a white note. Why can't you use the purple cards right away with the white cards? Great question. I'll tell you why. It's a long year. You need a big back pocket. Use the white cards like a cow. You milk those white cards until you're ready to do something new. The whole idea of the scoreboard levels is you've got to change it up to get their attention. You understand what I'm saying? White cards, and they don't even know the purple cards are coming. And the purple cards come in and boom, you get them re-engaged. Milk that purple cow, says Mrs. Shipley, and she is so right. Let's look at the screen again. For challenging kids, the purple card should be awarded immediately after the first time a rule is being followed, and intermittently thereafter. All right. Send the purple note home. Your child deserves a reward. I rock. Today at school I did a great job of following the checked rules. My teacher told the class I was a model of excellent behavior. Family, please give your child some extra one-on-one time as a special reward. Your students' actions today in class were better than expected and displayed strong, virtuous character. Your child was an example of what we look for in all of our students. Please sign and return this paper by tomorrow. And then find out what the special reward was. You're going to get not only behavior changes. Oh, I'm taking off the hat, my friends. You're going to get parent involvement. Would that be weird? These practice cards solve so many problems. And you don't start them at the beginning of the year. You can get the forms if you order the slides from this program. Spanish notes would be great, Jennifer. Please write some. How long should I wait before I start the purple cards? How long do you wait? You use the white cards for a while, then when do you start the purple ones? Isn't that a good question? Here's the answer. Pay attention. Here's the answer to all your questions. When should you do what? It's your classroom. That's the answer. Mrs. Shipley, Nancy, I know you've both used the practice cards. How long do you go with white cards before you go to purple? Now, understand this is just their view, but hey, they're really good. Nancy, how long do you wait before you go to purple cards with the white cards? And Nancy and Mrs. Shipley, do you make it until after Christmas, really? On the scoreboard and the super improver team? At least 2 months. Oh, Nancy. Spring break. You see, it's a long year. For the last slide into home. Wow. Listen to the veterans, my friends. They know how to do it. All right. More time passes. You got the white cards, you got the purple cards, and guess what? Green cards. Any of my veterans ever used green practice cards? I bet not. Green practice cards, anybody? Mrs. Shipley, you did. Nancy, did you use the green Blizzard? You haven't. You never had to, did you, Nancy? Well, Nancy used them. Jennifer, if it's your favorite color. Here's the deal. Some students, even after months of white and purple cards, need in-class practice following a rule. For example, Mary, an excitable child, is still blurting out responses after months of practice cards. What do we do for Mary? Give Mary a green card labeled Rule 2. She makes a tally mark on her card every time she raises her hand for permission to speak. At the end of the day, you and Mary look over the card. The two of you decide if she gets a white card note, a purple card note, or another day with a green card. So simple. And here's the beauty of it. The beauty of green cards is that Mary is self-monitoring her own behavior, which is exactly what you want her to do. Let's just talk about this whole practice card system. We need a system that's like a video game that continuously provides new stimulus, new motivation, new opportunities, new engagement hooks. That's why we've got 3 colors of practice cards. White cards, you don't even tell them purple cards are coming. 2 minutes of practice at recess. Purple cards, oh, purple card, I see you're doing a good job. Purple cancels a white. You know what? We still have the Marys of the world. Mary, here's a Rule 2 card. I'm going to tape it on your desk. Every time you raise your hand for permission to speak, put a tally mark down there. Don't tell her, Mary, if you get 10 tally marks, I'll let you erase the boards. Do not promise anything. Let's just see how it goes at the end of the day. If you're not allowed to keep kids in at recess, then, my friends, you may need to sit them in a place in the classroom where they're practicing this. You can do it at lunch, before school, after school. You don't keep them in anyway. They go outside to recess. There's a special place where they sit. And you know what? There are kids who are sick who sit through recess. So let this kid sit through recess. Now, any more questions? Here are the first 3 levels. Scoreboard. You always make the scoreboard 2 grade levels higher. 5th grade and baby school. Kindergarten and baby school. Level 2 is the super improver team. That was a previous webcast. And level 3 are the practice cards. But how are all these levels related? The scoreboard is for class behavior. No reward but bragging rights. Super improvers is for individual improvement. No reward but the joy of rising higher and higher. Practice cards, individual penalties and rewards. They all work together. Let's go over that one more time. Scoreboard for the class as a whole. No reward. You 3rd graders should be happy today because you are learning like 5th graders. Then after a couple of weeks, Super Improvers team, now we're going to reward you for improvements in academic or social behavior. Individually. After Christmas, it's time for a little penalty here and a little reward. Keep all 3 going. You'll find the longer you use the scoreboard, the fewer times you need to mark it. Let's ask Nancy and Blizzard and Mrs. Shipley online. How many marks on the scoreboard would you have during the first week per day? How many marks on the scoreboard do you have now after 8, 10, 12 weeks? Have the marks on the scoreboard gone down? You had 63 today. Way to go, Mrs. Shipley. You're keeping them on their toes if you had 63 marks today. "72 today," said Tall Man. All right. It was a cray-cray day. All right. Typical is 40 to 45. Now here's an important point. Very important point. The levels don't replace each other. Use the scoreboard and the Super Improvers team. Then after Christmas, use the scoreboard, the Super Improvers team, and the practice cards. Guess what? There's still lots of levels left. There are all the levels, which we're going to go through in the next webcast. So, rookie practice cards. When you want to help a student who consistently breaks a rule, give them a white practice card. The student notes that he or she will have rule practice. The student silently practices the rule gesture for 2 minutes at recess. No scolding. No scolding. Maximum of 2 white cards per day. Mastery challenge. You've advanced to the rookie level when you don't scold at all. You just put a white practice card in the appropriate pocket. Does everyone online understand that scolding does not work? In fact, it makes things worse. So no more scolding. White practice card. Pro practice cards. You want to reward a student for following a rule? Put a purple practice card with the rule number in her card pocket. Everybody celebrates for the positive behavior of this classmate. And a purple card cancels a white card. Mastery challenge. You've advanced to the pro level when the number of white cards you hand out decreases week by week. It means the white cards are working. And here's the all-star practice cards. When you want a student to monitor her own behavior, give the student a green card with the rule she needs to practice. The student makes a tally mark for every time she follows the rule. The student becomes self-monitoring and self-rewarding. Green cards may be continued for many days. You've advanced to the all-star level when purple cards outnumber white cards plus green cards 5 to 1. That's the direction you're going. Self-monitoring. Gosh, practice cards are so simple, they're scary. I could use the scoreboard and Super Improvers for months and months. No more marbles in a jar. Is this teaching heaven? And here's Marge. With all these levels, my class will be like a living video game. That's the idea. Change the stimulus. Huge point coming. Huge point coming. Use a tally sheet to keep track of what you're doing. Use your tally sheet to remind you what you should be doing next. Because you're juggling a few balls here. No more Oriental Trading Company. It's time for our brain fact of the evening. Who's excited by learning another brain fact? One of the favorite sections of our show. Brain fact time. Who's excited? We've got some excited people. Teresa is very excited. A.D. Lutz is excited. Blizzard is excited and ready. Oh, yeah. Bring it on, says Rodriguez. Whoop, whoop. Kitty teacher says she's excited. Here's her brain fact for the night. Here it is. The amygdala, let me show you your amygdala. You've got one. Here's your brain. Here's the front of your brain, right behind your forehead. This is deep inside your brain. It's your amygdala. It's near your hippocampus. You knew that. Amygdala. Talk about the amygdala tonight. Deep in the brain's limbic system is the amygdala. It's central in creating emotions of pleasure and pain. Some philosophers believe all human behavior is dominated by two drives: pleasure-seeking and pain-avoiding. Thus, the tiny amygdala may be more important in our behavior than our prefrontal cortex, our reason. WBD's theory is that the scoreboard, the Super Improvers team, and practice cards are powerful and legal amygdala stimulators. We want to get down deep into the brain's core, where the emotions reside. And it looks like my screen may have frozen up. Hey, here I am back. When I go away, you know I'm coming back. Blizzard, I don't know why your words are underlined. So, a legal stimulant is what we're talking about. Right here to your amygdala. Your kid's amygdala too. Now it's time for the zingy bonus. Who loves the zingy bonus? Zingy bonus times, my friends. We love the zingy bonus. Here it is. Awarding practice cards, especially white practice cards, takes careful strategizing. Every day, go to class with a fairly clear idea of who's going to get a white card and when. Plan in advance. You're limited to 2 cards. So should you give Mary a white card in the morning before lunch, or none at all, and save both cards until right before second recess? Here's the point. Don't shoot from the hip. Don't drop white cards on kids when you're upset at them. That's your amygdala controlling your prefrontal cortex. Flash! You've got an amygdala too. And when you start using the white cards at the promptings of your amygdala, you may make things worse. Plan in advance who's going to get a white card and when they're going to get it. Don't shoot from the hip. Be a professional. Stay under control. A second zingy bonus. Here's the second zingy bonus, my friends. Look at all these wonderful whole brain teaching resources. A list of them. Grade level Facebook pages are exploding. And now, one of our newest features, the Mystery Thing Lesson. Mystery Thing Lesson time, my friends. Who remembers what the mystery thing was from 3 weeks ago? Anybody remember it? Mark says it was soap. You are so right. Who remembers the mystery thing from 2 weeks ago? Mother Teresa was the mystery thing. And last week, what was the mystery thing? I'm taking a drink. Remember the mystery thing from last week? It was the golden stare. You see, you're learning some stuff. Here's the mystery. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to write mystery thing lessons for you. Could you dig that? What if I come up with some mystery thing lessons and you just tell the story? Here's the story. A mystery thing, first of all, is something you bring into class, you show the kids, you tell a story about it, and then they figure out what the lesson is of the story. So I'm going to tell you another true story from Coach B's life. All these stories are true. So here's the story. You can use it if you want. It's an odd story. One of Coach B's mystery things would be a plastic flute. During the famous Summer of Love in 1969, Coach B lived in the Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. Many days he went to Golden Gate Park, sat on Hippie Hill, and played his plastic flute. Coach B didn't play well. I bet that's an intriguing picture for you, my friends. Are you intrigued by that picture of Coach B in the Haight-Ashbury in '69 playing his plastic flute? That's just the beginning of the story. Oh, did I have long hair, my friends? I did that, and I could feel it all down my back. Now, story goes on. What he really wanted was to go over and play with the wild men banging bongos in a drum circle. They didn't play well either. Coach B did not join them. Three years later, he became a college teacher. He tried very hard to reach his students, but he failed over and over. Coach B miserably fled his job and went to Taos, New Mexico. Yes, my friends, I was an abominable teacher and so frustrated. I left my job. I went to Taos, New Mexico. Last chapter of the story coming up. Coach looked at the amber red mountains and the artsy people walking up and down the street. He liked the way the air smelled hot and clean. He thought this would be a good place to live. Coach B sat down in a park and played his San Francisco flute. A cop told him to stop. Coach B went back to teaching. What's the lesson? You tell me. What's the lesson about that mystery thing, the plastic flute? Tell a story. Let the kids figure out the lesson. Listen to authority. Do not play flutes in New Mexico. Those who can't teach, never give up on your dreams. Stick with what you're good at. Teaching is your music. Oh, that's pretty good. Some of us weren't meant to be musicians. Don't play a plastic flute. Teaching pays the bills. My friends, you are wonderful at these lessons. I wonder if your kids can match you. All right, just a little word here. My friends, listen to me. This is the truth. I have never taken a drug in my life. I've never smoked marijuana. I've never even smoked a cigarette. So don't be thinking that back there in the Haight-Ashbury, I was whacked out of my mind on foreign substances. Never did, never have, never will. And you can tell Bill Clinton that. So much for the soapbox. Time for a review. Here's the review. Week 1 attention getters. Who used core knowledge yes last week? Here's week 2. Who used magic mirrors last week? If you did, you're heading towards being an all-star. Magic mirrors. Anybody? Magic mirrors. I'm not saying mirror words. A rookie can use mirror words. I'm talking magic mirrors. That's where the kids make up their own gestures. Week 3. Did you use any rules call-outs? Kid speaks without raising their hand. You say 2. And everyone says, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule call-outs. Who used them? Are you all-star? Oh, got some all-stars out there. How about this one? Have your kids mastered all 5 rules? I mean, they're following directions quickly, they're raising their hands for permission to speak, they're not out of their seats, and they're making smart choices, and they're keeping their dear teacher happy. Anybody on one of the golden summits in teaching heaven? Not yet. Here's week 5. This is the test. Are you using Teach OK at least 20 times a day? And can you give a 2-sentence micro lesson? 2-sentence micro lesson, you are an all-star. Micro lessons. A.D. Lutz has got that one. Cloneel, keep it up. 2-sentence micro lessons. Yes, says Nancy. Good, kitty teacher. Scoreboard. How many marks a day? At least 40. Who's using the scoreboard at the all-star level of 40 marks a day? Some days, says teacher SD. Ragalar, hang your head in shame. Come on now. Use your tally sheet to remind you. Now, Super Improver, does anybody remember Mysterion? I just want to know, do you remember Mysterion at all? That was week 7. Nitty teacher, use a tally sheet. Who was Mysterion? That's right, Apple Pilot, it's you. Week 8 was our review, and week 9, you're saving the practice cards until after Christmas. All right, here's Ms. Linenthal. Hey, Coach, I really like the way your voice sounds. Thank you, Ms. Linenthal. I think we're brother and sister. I would be happy if that was true, Coach. Gosh, practice cards sound great, but how can I get professional development credit for this broadcast and a copy of these slides? Ms. Linenthal, that is the question. This is program 565. If you put $5.65 in the PayPal slot, there's the PayPal slot, $5.65. I'll send you that certificate and this certificate and a copy of all the slides. $5.65, my friends. And next week, the guff counter. Do you have back talkers? Next week, we're going to handle your back talkers. My friends, if you want an on-site presentation, send me an email. I'm just going to ask my friends out there, who's got back talkers? And it looks like I might be frozen again. Oh, yeah. Well, my friends, I'm back, and we're going to fix these issues with the video for next week. I have a clue of how to fix them. We thank you for your attention, and pay attention to the red names. They may be telling you about their Facebook page. Blizzard, thank you so much. My friends, it's me, Coach B. Thanks to all of you for making me Coach B. My family continues to need your prayers. We are seeing the effect of your prayers on the health of my family. I will see you next week. Bring your friends. We're going to stop the back talk next week, my friends. Week 10 of the master class. It's Coach B saying power to the teachers, signing off.